Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Red Devils Experience. We are here with the Red Devil recap. Manchester United 4, Liverpool 3. What a match. FA Cup magic. Manchester United versus Liverpool. I think that was a classic Manchester United versus Liverpool game. What a result for us. What a game. What a performance. There was highs. There was some lows. It had everything. This match had absolutely everything. It felt like, for me at least, growing up when we used to play Liverpool, it felt like one of those matches. Not like how it's been in the past few years for us. I think we did very well in moments of the game. We looked strong. We were playing good. Actually, they had a Liverpool supporter call at halftime, and he said that he thought we were playing well. He actually predicted the extra time as well. I didn't feel so confident after we gave up those two, in my opinion, crappy goals to Liverpool right before the halftime. But I tell you what, this team stayed determined. They stayed fighting. They stayed in it. They wanted to win this one. It showed on the pitch. And Ten Hag, I think, pulled off an absolute masterclass. I think many people, I questioned it. I wasn't going mad. I wasn't going crazy. But I questioned some of the things, and I was trying to make sense of some of the things he was doing. But I think he pulled it off an absolute masterclass. I mean, we finished the game with Bruno Fernandes injured, playing center back, and we ended up winning that match. We had Anthony playing a makeshift sort of left back. Rashford goes up top, missed two big chances, and you're thinking, have we screwed this? Have we screwed ourselves? And he pulled it off. And I think it was absolute masterclass by Ten Hag. I think he took the risks. I think he needed to take the risks. And I think those risks paid off. And, some people, they might say he doesn't have the cojones at some times. Well, I think he showed it there. But, I don't think he really had an option. I think he had to show him because the situation we were in, we were going to lose the match. So you got to go for it because they want to win this trophy. This is the only trophy we can fight for. It will most likely help in easing the pressure off of him getting sacked. Right. And it's good for the club all around. It's good for him. It's good for the players. It's good for the club. If we can win this FA Cup trophy out of this abysmal up and down season that we've been having, you're definitely going to take it every single day. And we knocked them out. We're going to do player ratings as well. And we're going to discuss a couple more details from the match. Before we do, please smash the like button. It takes 2 seconds of your time. We greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel out, helps us out. If you like our content, if you like these sort of shows, smash the like button. Do it, please. It really does help. It takes 2 seconds of your time, and we greatly appreciate it. So thank you for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. We usually do live shows. This one's a pre-record because we had some scheduling issues. So we're going to do the pre-record. But we do live shows. So subscribe and hit the notification bell. Turn that thing on so you know when we go live. We will be doing live, and we will be doing interactive stuff with the community here. Get your comments in below. Anything I say, thoughts about the match. We respond to everything anybody says. As long as it's not like over the line and stuff like that. And, we might bring your comment up on the next video, on the next live. I'll bring it up. I'll shout you out and everything and all that good stuff. I'll even put you on the screen. Do all that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. But let's discuss a couple things of the matches. I think a couple things from the match. I think the first 30 minutes or so, I think we played very well. We got the early goal. We dropped off a little bit after that. We didn't look too great right before halftime. We had I don't even want to call it a mini collapse. It was more of a 5-minute collapse. It was like a 5-minute spell of just a collapse. We gifted Liverpool those goals. And but I think we overall we played a very strong game. And I need to say this about this squad because they seem to do this, and I want to keep it fairly positive. When we can, we try to be real on this show. And sometimes when you're real, uh, being keeping it truthful and being real about the situation at hand, it cannot always be positive. That's physically impossible. Um, so if the situation is a negative situation, things are going to come off negative. But I this is how I want to run this thing. This is what I believe in. I always believe in keeping it real, not trying to be too far off in la la land. Um, but we had very good performances from individuals. There was times where the team as a whole looked like they struggled. I think the midfield was sort of a problem. Um, because they were getting bypassed, and I think that's something we need to look to fix, is certainly that midfield. But I think individually the players did a very, very good job. There was players that played absolutely outstanding. Garnacho is one of them, definitely comes to mind. um Diallo, I think, did fantastic, scored the game winning goal, by the way. I'm sure, as you know, but I think he did great. And I'm really happy for that kid, because a lot of people were getting very impatient that he wasn't getting his opportunities. But I trust Eric Ten Hag, and I back Eric Ten Hag, and I believe that there is a reason as to why. Now, I don't think Eric Ten Hag thinks Amad Diallo is a bad player. I think there is an underlying issue there, whether he is just not up to the pace because he was injured for so long. But he looked up to the pace, but he played longer than he did, longer than maybe Ten Hag or Diallo thought he might get time, because we ended up going into extra time. We could have won the game with Rashford, but he missed it. Um, but the kid took his chance. The kid took his chance. He was given the chance, and then added that chance. Right? He had a 10 minutes about in regular time, and that extended further, and that presented him an opportunity, and he took that. And I'm happy he took that. And because I feel like the kid deserved it, and it's the best possible outcome. And this is what these kids need to do. It's you don't just get to play because one of the senior players is playing like crap, right? You need to earn a 5 minute cameo, a 10 minute cameo. And when you get that cameo, you get on that pitch and you make it count. You give the manager a problem, a good problem, not a bad problem. You give the manager a good problem, because now Diallo is there. He's there. Listen, he came up big in a very important game for the manager, for the club, for us, the fans. Came up, scored the game winning goal, and on the pitch he was fantastic. So now Eric Ten Hag has to take Diallo into consideration going forward from this period. And the next time Diallo goes on that pitch, he has to do something again. And again and again and again. And make it impossible for Ten Hag not to pick him. That is how you earn your spot in football. Because we were getting to a point where, it's frustrating to watch players not perform. But at the same time, you can't just be handing kids, when if they're not ready, because we don't see them behind the scenes. We don't see them in practice. You know what I mean? Maybe they're getting out muscled. Maybe they're getting outclassed in practice. And you're talking about players that you're saying shouldn't be starting, are not good enough, right? But if the kids can't outperform those players in practice, why would you expect them to outperform them in a real match, in a competitive match against another team that is trying to beat you, is trying to win? But this is how you earn your spot. And he took it absolutely. I'm absolutely thrilled with him, especially with all the chaos that was, because he deactivated his social media accounts, and he said it was for Ramadan, and I believe it was Ramadan. And and they're running stories left and right saying he wants to leave, he's going to ask for a transfer. I think he silenced that today, and I'm absolutely happy about that, because I actually didn't believe it. And he did put out the statement saying that it was for religious holiday reasons. And he gets to do him because he is a human being, and if he wants to turn off his social media for whatever reason he wants to turn off his social media, he is 100% allowed to turn off his social media. And I honestly, I did not believe that it was a kind of a Jaden Sancho type of thing where he was fed up with Ten Hag and he was angry at the club. Of course, he's not happy that he's not playing, but I don't think he was like ready to throw everything out the window and be like, screw this team, screw this manager, screw this club, I'm out of here. I never for a second thought it was that. Um, because when Eric Ten Hag kept him here, I don't think. Listen, Eric Ten Hag lies to the media, but I don't think Eric Ten Hag would lie to the player directly. Um, and when it was said that Eric Ten Hag told Amad Diallo that he wants him part of his plans and he intends to use him, I believe that. I believe that. I believe that he does want to use him, Amad Diallo. I think he does see something in Amad Diallo. So I that's why I never believed that whole thing for a second. Um, Everybody else, I think Onana was great again. He's come solid since his early troubles during the match. Delo, sorry, fantastic. I just seen a statement from Mourinho in 2018 of December, and he said Diego Delo right back for the next 10 years. And I think he was right on that prediction because Delo is on top of his game, man, absolutely on top of his game. But it was a crazy match, crazy match. Varane had some very important tackles, very very important tackles. Um, Probably stopped an extra goal or two from Liverpool happening. Last second tackles, I think Maguire did very well when he came in. Lindelof did good. Kobe Manu was bossing the place again. Wan-Bissaka I think did good playing on the left hand side. Kept the low. He kept uh Mohamed Salah at bay, and it is it is what we needed to see from this team. And what I want to say most importantly is that this team needs to learn how to carry this character, this attitude, this mentality, this fight, this they need to learn how to carry this into every game, right? They showed it even though we didn't control any of the game and we did sit back, they still fought hard. They still played to the very last amount of time that they could. But they did it against City. They did it against Liverpool the first time we drew, but we did sit back. This time we didn't sit back as much. And we attacked and we played our game and we had shots on target and we looked dangerous at time and we outplayed Liverpool in a lot of moments in that game, 100%. And this team needs to learn how to bring this against teams like Fulham, like West Ham. Like they need to bring these levels at all times. They need to treat they have to have the same energy like it's a Champions League final, like it's a cup final, like it's a game against Liverpool. Every single game. I think if they do this, we would be blowing past teams that are below us with ease instead of struggling and dropping points and being in the position that we are in. We would be much higher in the league. Um, but yeah, Scott McTominay scoring the first goal. I think he did good too. He was for a Scott McTominay midfield performance, I think he did great. I actually think everybody played very very well today. Everybody added something. We got an Anthony goal with the right foot. I didn't even know if that was possible because I didn't even know he could use the right foot. And what a finish it was! It was actually it was very similar to Diallo's, right into the corner, bottom right corner on the floor. Um, yeah, so I think uh, it was just an absolute crazy match. This was one of those matches. It just gives me this feeling of like back in Fergie times when we go play Liverpool and it was always a battle. And even though Liverpool weren't as good as they are now, Whenever we would play, for the most part, I think bar maybe one or two times, it was always a battle. It was always a battle, and the game could go either way. It was never so one sided, and unlucky for us, it hasn't been that way for us against them. It's been more one sided towards them, beating us or just dominating us, like some past results have happened. But today was not that match. Today felt like one of those classics back in the Fergie times, battling it out. This game could go any each way. There was goals, 7 goal game, early goals, people battling it out, tackles flying. Just it was a fantastic game of football. I mean, if you're not a Manchester United fan or a Liverpool fan, 110% you were entertained by this match. I had an Arsenal fan send me a message and he said, "What a crazy game that was." And I told him, I said, that is that was a real Manchester United versus Liverpool match, not like a couple of the past matches that we've seen in the recent years. This was a real match between United and Liverpool, and we came out on top with a 120-minute winner from the kid that everybody's been dying for him to get a chance. So I think it was absolutely fantastic display. I'm so happy for Ten Hag. I'm happy for the players. He needed this. They needed this. But Ten Hag needed this. We face Liverpool again in a couple weeks. Let's do it again. Let's run it back. They're gonna want revenge. Klopp is gonna want revenge. We kicked them out of the cup. You know what I mean? Funny statistic on that, by the way. Manchester United, in the last 12 times that we've played them in the FA Cup, Manchester United has kicked Liverpool out 10 out of the last 12 times. So how's that for a statistic for the people that love statistics? And also, Liverpool haven't beaten Manchester United at home, I believe, in the FA Cup for 102 years. They have not beaten us at Old Trafford, so not since 1921 where they beat us 2-1. So how you like those for statistics? Those are some good statistics right there. Let's run through the player ratings real quick. Don't want this to run too long, so we're gonna do player ratings and then we'll end it there. And then if you have anything you want to say, any comments, thoughts on the match, anything I said, drop it down below, and we'll pull you up on the screen. So Andre Onana, I'm giving him a 7. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals. There was a couple deflection ones. Can't blame him for that. He was going in the right way. He probably would have saved one or two of them if it didn't take a deflection because he was ready. The sweeping was great. Coming out for crosses. Putting the ball in his feet. Distribution, I think, was great. He is looking more and more solid. Every game we play, and as further on as we go into the season, and you can see why Ten Hag bring him in, and I think he's showing it. He's starting to show his money worth so far, and let's keep building on that because I want to keep seeing this. Diego Dalot, I'm gonna give him a 7.5. Diego Dalot, again, he's been on a run of these games. He's been fantastic. He's been absolutely fantastic. He is locked in right now. He is in form. He is playing probably the best he's played in his Manchester United career, and I'm happy for him because I always backed this guy. I believed in this guy. I was very upset when he was loaned to AC Milan and it looked like we were going to sell him. I was completely against that because I knew that there was a player in there that we could use. I knew that there was a player in there that would be good for us. And he made it through that period, and he's showing every bit right now. And I love Dalot's attitude. I love his mentality. To me, he does represent a Manchester United player 110%. 110%. So I would definitely not be looking to sell him ever. I think he is a vital member of the squad, and I think he's earned that spot, rightfully so, the way he carries himself and the way he performs on the pitch. Raphael Varane, I'm going to give him a 7. I think Raphael Varane is Raphael Varane. He's Champions League Varane. When he's there, I feel safer in terms of, just the defense. I feel like the defense is more solid and he's always doing his thing. He's experienced. He's a fantastic player, and I think he had a very good game today. And there was a couple moments, last ditch efforts. Making the tackle, getting the foot onto the ball. If he doesn't do those things, who knows what happens? They could have scored an extra one or two goals. He is a very, very important player. And personally, I've come to the position. I don't give a crap about the age. I don't give a crap because people say he's injury prone. I don't think he's that injury prone. I think certainly if you get another center back, somebody that can fight for that first place. Listen, you have Varane on the bench. Um, you know that's a great bench play. I'd rather have Varane on the bench than have some random guy. But I think he's still good enough to be a starter. He's an excellent player, and I would not be looking to sell him. I don't care about the wage, man, because there's other players there that need to be sold. I think before Rafael Varane, and you need to bring somebody in that can compete toe to toe with Varane and see what happens there. Um, Victor Lindelof, I give him a 6.5. Um, he did good. He did good. But for me, he's a solid option. I don't have like anything personally negative to say about him during this match. Just more so of I think that's where we have to look to maybe, if you take Lindelof and replace him with that player that I just mentioned, that a younger guy, maybe 22, 23, 24, 25, somebody that can produce the same type of something as Rafael Varane. I think that's who you switch them out for. I think you move Lindelof on, and you get that player in, and then have them battle it out. But Lindelof, he was solid today, very very solid. Wan-Bissaka back, doing his thing. Spider Wan, we're gonna give him a 7. Mans is always tackling. Played on the left hand side. I think he did a good job of keeping Salah pretty quiet. Obviously, Salah scored the goal, but that ain't Wan-Bissaka's fault necessarily. To me, it was a dumb play. That ball should have never went into the corner. He got trapped there. You could see the trap coming. They had the press already set up high for the goal kick. It was a bad, poor decision. And we should have never tried to do that play. But other than that, I think, Salah was relatively quiet for me. And, I think Wan-Bissaka did a very good job of that. And I think props go to Eric Ten Hag as well, because he noticed that. And he does notice that Wan-Bissaka is a great tackler of the ball. It's unfortunate that listen, if Wan-Bissaka could go forward and make shit happen, right? On maybe even a Trent type of level, a Robinson type of level, we would have the most elite right back in the world, because this guy tackling is just absolutely a monster, man. He is a spider, dude, with those legs. He just gets everything with those legs, and it's just so I think he gets a 7 for today. I'm gonna give Kobe an 8. Kobe, I think the kid wanted it today. You could see it, man. He was trying. He was weaving and bobbing and taking players on and making tackles. And I love this kid. He keeps putting in just Manchester United player performances week in, week out. At this young age, he's very mature. You could see the way he carries himself. He's always so calm. I just love the way this kid sees the game, plays the game, carries himself on the pitch. And another fantastic performance by him. And I feel like I feel like I'm saying this every week, but I think I am. But it's because he keeps doing it. And we have a very bright future when you look at the younger players. There's a solid core starting to build here, and it's very encouraging, because if we can add some more pieces around this solid core of the younger side of these players, the future is going to look very, very good for us. And I'm looking that far ahead, and I'm hoping we can get the recruitment right and fit pieces in and around these kids, and let them get a couple more years, and we'll look like a whole totally different team. Scott McTominay, and I give him a 7. I think he did pretty good, and he scored a goal. I don't think he had a normal Scott McTominay ghosting, invisible game. I think he was there. He made some tackles, he made some passes, and he scored a goal. And he had another chance to score another goal, and he unfortunately missed it. But I think McTominay deserves a 7 today. I do. Bruno Fernandez. Uh, I would give Bruno Fernandez a 6.5. I think there was certain moments, again, loses the ball too easily, maybe holds the ball too long, but then also, just for the fact of him going to center back, holding out the game, making plays, like he was almost like a quarterback from the NFL where he was just launching balls from the back. For him to finish the game injured at center back, and we didn't concede a goal, and he was trying to make the plays happen. I think he deserves a 6.5, at least for his effort. In part of the other parts of the game that he did well. But he still does frustrate sometimes because he does lose the ball. He does sometimes make the wrong decisions, and he does sometimes hold the ball too long. But I don't think Bruno played abysmal. I don't think it was an awful thing, and I don't think he was necessarily on below average. So for me, Garnacho 7.5. I think Garnacho was again great, threatening like he always is, running down the wing, trying to take players on, trying to make things happen. He was up for it. He was absolutely gassed at the end of the match, like he was dead. I was afraid that like he was just gonna collapse. He was so tired. His brain was telling him to keep going, but his legs didn't want to do it. The kid does so much running. But I love this kid, and he's in that group of that core that I'm talking about, that youth, the younger players we have, and so I think he had a very fantastic game. Very threatening player, and I'm excited to see this kid continue to develop, because I think if he can add a few more things to his game, he will be one of the top. I'm talking about top 2, top 3, if not number 1 wingers in the world for sure. Rashford, I give him a 6.5. I think at times he struggled a bit. I think he did pretty good in other moments. He scored an important goal for us. He scored the tying goal. He should have had another 2 goals. So I got to give him a little bit of a lower score for that, because, the first one you have to score. The second one, and they were both off target. Like, you got to put them on target. So his score for me went a little bit lower there. But, he was in the match. He was trying to make things happen. Third time's the charm. He got the goal. So, I think 6.5. I don't think he was below average. He was there fighting with the rest of the team. He didn't give up, and like everybody else. And I think he deserves a 6.5 for today. Hoyland, I think he gets a 6. First match back, played 65 minutes. Obviously couldn't play more. Didn't get too many opportunities. Would like to see him obviously get more opportunities. I don't think he had a shot on target, which is unfortunate, because I kind of thought that he would probably get 1 or 2. But yeah, first match back after the injury, so kind of disrupted his rhythm. I think he'll be back firing. I think he'll be doing more 7s, 8s, maybe even a 9 or a 10 going forward. So Harry Maguire, I think when Harry Maguire came on, I think Harry Maguire did Harry Maguire things. And I'm not talking about Harry Maguire things from previous seasons. I'm talking about Harry Maguire things from this season, because it seems like he is a different Harry Maguire than the one that we were suffering with. He was, using that head that we had him for, his height, getting to every ball. He was going forward. He does this thing where he just gets up there and he becomes like one of the most dangerous attacking players in the match. It's almost baffling to me. But yeah, he just becomes like this focal point up there, and the ball is like a magnet to him, man. It just goes to him like every time. I think he had a shot too at the end. He ripped a shot right at Keller or whatever his name is. Yeah. So I think Maguire did great for his substitution appearance, and I would give him a 7 out of that performance. I think he was very impactful, and I think he was very solid. Anthony is getting a 7 for me as well because again another substitute, very impactful, scored an important goal to lift us back in with the right foot that myself, but many others, said he can't use that shit. And somehow he was like, well, this is what I've been doing in training. Look at this shit. And he scored a fucking great goal with his right foot. Fantastic finish. And of course, with Anthony, you always get what Anthony gives you, which is energy, fight, warrior mentality. He always gives you that much, at least, sometimes that's obviously not enough for a club like Manchester United, but he always gives you that. So you're going to get that from him. You're going to get the guy running up and down. And actually, you know what? I kind of want to bump it up to like a 7.5, but we could average it to maybe like a 7.2 or a 7.3 because the fact that he was shifted to left back and he actually played pretty good at left back. So I think he deserves his credit and his flowers when it's due. I mean, he scored a goal, got shifted to left back, was playing as a solid left back, covering the winger, covering the space and the runs in behind and all that good stuff. So I think he definitely deserves his flowers today. I think Ericsson gets a 6. I think, he came on. He made a couple not so great passes, but he was doing Ericsson things. I think he kind of calmed it down a little bit more. I think he was useful in the midfield, but I don't I don't think he impacted the match as much as some other players or as much as I think he probably could. I think he could have impacted it more. But yeah, for the amount of slotted time that he played, I think he just gets an average score, and there's nothing wrong with an average score. My problem would always be with the below average scores. You cannot have below average scores. Amad Diallo, I'm giving the kid an 8.5. He's getting the man of the match. I would have probably gave it to probably Garnacho because I think he was absolutely fantastic. But for me, you come on and you score that game winner in this match, you're getting man of the match. Plus, I think while he was on the pitch, listen, he was making tackles, stealing the ball, creating the plays from that. Positioning was beautiful. He was getting involved. I mean, that goal that he scored, that was all him. He stole the ball. He made the play. He gave it to Garnacho. He ran. He got that ball, and he slotted into the corner. It was an absolutely beautiful finish. So for me, man of the match, Amad Diallo, game winner against Liverpool at Old Trafford in the FA Cup to knock them out and send us through to the semi-final. Yes, sir, you get man of the match, kid. And I'm happy for you because I told him last week, I wrote to him on Twitter and I said, just keep working hard. You will get your chance and take it when you do. And I would like to think, and I know he didn't, but I'm going to pretend like he did, that he's seen that message and he took that advice and he came on to today's match. He came on the pitch with that in his brain and he did exactly that. So I'm very happy for the kid and I hope he continues. I hope he gets more minutes, and I hope he keeps performing because I want to see this kid. I think he's a very there's something there. There's something there for sure, and we can use him. We can use him for sure. He can definitely be a very useful player. Mason Mount is gonna get a 6 for me. First time back in a very long time. Good to see him out there on the pitch. The club's been missing the number 7. And I think he did all right. He was just pretty average. I don't think he did anything crazy. He didn't do anything horrible. So good to see Mason Mount back, and hopefully he stays fit and he can build up his fitness and his just match sharpness going forward. It's great to have him back. We need as many options as possible. And finally, but not least, Eric Ten Hag, we're going to give Eric Ten Hag, I'm giving him an 8 today. I'm giving him an 8 today because I think he set up the team great. I think the tactics in terms of don't defend too much, but also don't get exposed. I think he found the correct balance. I think he found the way to explain to the players to get the correct balance of this match. I think the substitutions were fantastic because they paid off. And I think the reshaping of just taking players, taking out Varane and taking out this player and putting Anthony at left back, he managed this game today. He absolutely managed this game today, and he absolutely killed it for him. Now, some people can argue he was lucky, but listen, he took the risk, he took the shot, and it paid off. And for that, he's getting an 8 today, and I'm happy for him because I will continue to back this manager till his last day, whether that's at the end of this season, 2 seasons, 5 seasons, whenever his last day is. I will back him, and I will trust in this manager because I still believe 110% that this guy has the plan, and he has the correct philosophy. He needs some more help with the players. The injuries have been a disaster. The medical staff hasn't been helping him. But the personnel issues we need to figure out and help Eric Ten Hag. And I want to see him given a chance under a proper structure with this Ineos, with this new structure that's coming through. I want to see him get this chance. I think he deserves it. Like I stated, he had one good season last season, one not very good season this season. He's in an FA Cup semifinal. 4th place is somehow still on. Thank you to the other 2 teams, Tottenham and Aston Villa. So listen, if this guy finishes the season and he gets us 4th place and we get this trophy, we get this FA Cup, 110%, I think there should be absolutely no questions if he's going to be the manager next season. He should have 110% absolutely be our manager. But with all of that, we ran it long enough. Thank you for whoever tuned in. Remember, get your comments down in below. We will pull you up. We'll shout you out. All that good stuff. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we go live or when we post a video. But we will be going live. Schedule is a little bit busy, but I promise I will find times. If anything major breaks, we will be going live. I don't know if I'll be able to go live at that second, depending on what times these things happen and what it is and what day it is. But we will go live at some point on that day. But other than that, thank you. GGMU, liVARpool. That's LIVARPOOL. Go home crying. No quadruple or fantasy cups, whatever for you. Klopp, go retire. You ain't getting no trophies this season. We're happy to see it. We're happy to be a part of it. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, and we will catch you next week. Peace out, guys.